So in the last video I showed you how to set up the UART using interrupts, and that was all well and good, but it's getting to a point now where the main function, or our main.c file, was getting a bit crowded. So what I've done is moved the UART code into their own modules, into their own C file and header file under a common peripherals folder. So the reason you would want to do this is because if there are functions and stuff that you want to maybe recall in other modules, or if there's code you want to reuse, it's really handy to do that if they're in their own files rather than the main file. It also keeps the main file short and bite-sizable, and it also helps with the likes of if you want to test your code and things like that, if your code is in their own modules. And the reason I'm doing this early now is because it's easier to sort of, you need to get a wee bit of code going and then put them into their own modules once you have a bit of code up and running, and then if you do it early it makes it easier. Whereas if we were doing this like halfway through like a 12-month project, it would be a nightmare because you'd have to move everything and make sure everything works. Whereas we have a few functions and we can test that it works after moving it, and it makes it easier. So you do this early and it saves you a headache, keeps everything bite-sizable, manageable, and you can document it. And just, let's say a new developer comes along as well, it means everything's more consumable for them. So I'm going to show you how to do that, how to set it up. I already have something set up, but I need to show you some settings in the Cube IDE to do that. So whenever you're wanting to create your own folder, what you do is click on the folder that you want to have it in. So I just added mine to the core. So if you click on it, right click, new folder, and I'm going to call this dummy because this is a dummy folder and there's nothing in it, but we can add the C files. So if you click on that folder, then go to file and new source file and dum.c, and you need to make sure you add the extension, otherwise it will create the wrong file type, or it'll create no specific file type. So dum.c, that'll generate some code and create the C file in here, and do the same again. Click on dummy, new header file, dum.h, and finish, and that'll create the header file as well. So then once that's done, what you can do is to make sure that these can get compiled in. So if I go into the dummy and add so it doesn't really know what this dum.h file is, and that's because we haven't told it to add it when compiling. So the way to fix that is if you go to project, properties, and then under the C++ build tab, drop down the arrow, go to settings, and then if you come over here and look for MCU GCC compiler, include paths, and then as you can see I've already added the peripherals folder, but if you just come to this add function or button, go workspace, and then you can select the folder. So I'm going to select this dummy folder, and that'll just include this include path, so we can compile that in. So we rebuild it now, that should be there, and it's fixed that. So that's basically how you add your own files and functions and make sure they're compiled in properly. I'm going to delete this because I don't need it, and I'm going to delete it from here as well because I don't need it. So to do that, it's just go back in, remove, apply and close, maybe the rebuild index, and then I'm just going to delete this. And then what I can do is show you what I've done here. So there used to be some variables and defines and functions in here that were all related to the UART. We still have the handle because we need that. There's some handle setup done in here. The it works and the flag for the interrupt, they're still here, but what if you can see here, I've added an init function and removed, or not removed, but moved the two UART init functions that were here. So if I open the interrupts code and show you the main.c for what was there, so the left hand side is the new code, right hand side is the older code. So if I come down to roughly the same area in the old code, we had the UART transmit and receive, so this was to initialize them and to get ready for receiving or transmitting data for the interrupt with the interrupt, but they're gone, so I've moved them into this HAL UART init. Not HAL UART init, sorry. I've moved them into this perf UART init function, so I control click on this, and I've added in some extra checks and things like that just for good measure. So I've moved the code in here, and now what I can do is anytime I want to use this module, I need to initialize it, and I just want to init these interrupts to with the buffers to get ready to receive and transmit, and make sure that everything's okay. And if it is okay, then I'll return it as an okay. If something fails, then the code will just stop working. And what else? I've got a true. Not a true, I have a boolean in here that I can set to true or false. It's false until this is called and everything's okay in this. So if this is called and everything's okay, then this will be set to true, and it means that these other functions can then be used. If this isn't called, or if there's something wrong with this and this is false, set to false, then these can't be used, which we kind of want that anyway, so that's just some good coding practice. As you can see as well, I've moved in these variables. So if we come up here, these variables were in the main file, and I've moved them into this perf UART.c file because, well, they're not needed in the main anymore. And if we come back to our old main, or sorry, if we come back to our new main and scroll down, you can see as well that there is some changes where the UART was printing when the interrupt button was pressed. So when the button was pressed, it was just transmitting. I don't want to do any transmitting of the UART or any UART code in here in the main, so I've moved it into some function as well, and all I do is pass in the UART handle, the buffer we want to print, and the length of it. So this it works is still here. And if we click into this, it's just moved this code in, that's all it is. And we can call this from anywhere now, instead of having to do this sort of stuff here everywhere with just a one line thing where you go, okay, here's the UART handle, here's the TX buffer and the length, you do your thing. And what else? So there were some callback functions as well. So in the new main.c, they're nice and tidy and manageable and bite sizable. If we just look, we went from 40 or 351 lines to 315, so we've saved about 35 or 40 lines. I don't want to do the quick maths in my head, sorry. So in the TX handle, we were setting a memory buffer just to null characters, and that's been done in here in this perf UART.c, just for consistency as well. And we also moved in this big function which handles any data we get from the UART. So any data we receive, it'll process that in this function. So all we do for this is pass in the UART handle, so it knows what UART it's using and what settings the UART has. You could probably make this more bite sizable again and testable, which I may do, but for now I've just moved it in, and that's basically everything. So we've tidied up our main and moved stuff into its own UART functions, or UART files, sorry. Well, functions as well, because these are functions. And in the UART.h file, I've just added the max buffer lane, which was in the main. And some functions as well, like the function prototypes. So again, this will all be uploaded to GitHub and the relevant branch as well, so you can check this out. One thing I want to mention as well is you may find a problem if you're using a different model of Nucleo board. So I have an F334. If you're using an F4 or any other type of board, you need to be careful because you'll get include problems here with these when you regenerate the code. But that's everything that I wanted to cover. So that's me. I'm gonna go chill out for the rest of the day. Bye.